Hey guys, it's Khadija here with Nursekayexplains, and today in this video, I'm going to be talking about the do's and don'ts of NCLEX prep. So first, we're going to get into the don'ts, okay? These are the things that you should not do when preparing for NCLEX. Number one is content cramming. Yes, I cannot say this enough. Do not try to cram a whole bunch of content and relearn a whole bunch of content that you already know. I've said this a million times, okay? Your nursing program or your professor, your dean might not have your best interest in you becoming the best nurse in the world, but trust me, they do have your best interest when it comes to passing the NCLEX, especially on the first time. Because when you do that, that helps with their test scores and that helps with their accreditation, which keeps their doors open, which brings in more students, which brings in more money. And let's be real, it's America, y'all, so it's all about the top dollar, okay? So yes, your program has been cramming you with content since the moment you were in the pre-nursing course to your nursing course to graduating for NCLEX. What I'm telling you is that you do not need to go back into your trunk, into your closet, pull out all of your textbooks, and start teaching yourself and relearning all of this content. I will tell you when we get to the do's, the best way to review content. Because yes, you do need to be reviewing. Yes, you do need to be refreshing because there are some things that you may have forgotten. But you do not need to practically study and relearn so much content. Like it's practically impossible, okay? Number two is procrastination. And I can't believe I have to say this, but yes, some of y'all be procrastinating, and trust me, I don't see how y'all do it, and I'm not here to judge, but procrastination is not your friend when it comes to NCLEX. And I'm a procrastinator, I get it, but do not do this, okay? Do not wait to the last minute to try to study for your NCLEX exam. Do not wait to the last minute to start practicing your test questions. Do not wait to the last minute to start, reviewing some of your missed questions. Just do not procrastinate, okay? Number three is overloading with resources. You do not need a whole bunch of resources to help you prepare for this exam. The only time I recommend you getting a new resource is if you finish the Qbank in resource number one, then move on to the resource number two. So if you finish remediating and doing all the practice questions in your Qbank for, your first, resource that you have, then go ahead and go pick up a second resource. That's okay. Definitely do not waste your money on buying all of these resources that you do not need at the time. Number four is beating yourself up. I know that we all set goals and expectations, and when we don't meet those, we beat ourselves up about it. And this was even something that was hard for me in nursing school, like if I did bad on the exam, or if I didn't do as many practice questions as, I had set myself out to do. Do not beat yourself up about it. There's always tomorrow. If you fall, pick yourself back up and try again. Number five, our last don't is do not, hear me out, do not overstudy. I know you're thinking like, is that such a thing as overstudying? But yes, there is. And what I mean by that is do not sit at your computer if your Qbank is on your computer. Just think about it. Sitting there, using your eyes to look at a white screen or a blue screen, whatever kind of screen you're looking at, for hours on end. Like that eventually, hurts your eyes. It becomes a strain on you, on your mental, on your eyes and things like that. And even if you're reviewing out of your book or your remediation notes and handwriting, that can also become, extremely tedious. And what happens is you're not actually comprehending the information. You're just there aimlessly reading or aimlessly writing. You're not actually comprehending and retaining the information that you need to know. So do not overstudy. And we'll talk about how to avoid all of these don'ts when we get to the do's. So we talked about all of our don'ts. Now let's get into our do's. Number one, you do want to practice self-care. And I know y'all have heard this before, but let me tell y'all, this is very, very important. And it's also counteract that don't I told y'all about overstudying. Self-care is very important. It helps decrease anxiety. It helps with, your confidence. Hang around your family, hang around your friends, go to the spa, watch a movie, get a pedicure, do all of those things. As long as you are effectively, putting in time to review your content, do your practice questions and study, there's nothing wrong with self-care. There's nothing wrong with going out to a concert, going to a wedding. There's even been new grads that I've worked with that's gone on like a week vacation. That is okay, as long as you know how to, organize and prioritize and put, practicing in your schedule. Doing this will check off so many boxes for you if you do it effectively. That's the key word, doing it effectively. The do is O.P.R.A, okay? Yes, O.P.R.A. O.P.R.A. That is organize, practice, remediate, and then aggregate, okay? And I talked about the O.P.R.A method in my last video, and I'll put the link down below to give you like a detailed, in-depth situation about how you effectively do O.P.R.A when preparing for NCLEX. The O is for organize, which basically means you're going to get out a calendar. You are going to assess everything that you have to do for a week. You are only looking at the week ahead. You're not looking at week 2, 3, or 4, just week 1. And you want to prioritize and place the things that you must do that you cannot delegate to anyone else. And then once you assess and see what you have to do for the week, you will then plug in how many practice questions you will do that day, okay? And then we talk about, the P, which is practice. What you're going to do is practice. You're going to take tons of practice questions based on what you have scheduled for the week, and you are going to remediate, that's the R, you are going to remediate all of the missed questions that you took during your practice session, do days 1 through day 6, okay? And then day 7, you are going to aggregate, which means you're going to review all of your missed content for the week, and you are going to focus solely on that type of content. So if days 1 through day 6, you see that you missed a lot of cardiac questions, then on day 7, you are going to practice only cardiac questions. When you do O.P.R.A, you check so many boxes. You organize, you decrease anxiety, you actually practice questions like you would, like you're gonna do on the NCLEX. I talked about the O.P.R.A method in my last video. I put the link down below. Now let's get into our next do. You definitely do need to do an NCLEX-style test prior to taking your NCLEX. Kaplan has a great, and I don't get endorsed by Kaplan, I don't get paid by Kaplan, I'm not a Kaplan ambassador, but they have a great NCLEX-style practice test. It's all about preparing for NCLEX and doing it as if you're going to do it when you take your test. So another do that a lot of people do not do is actually understand what the NCLEX is and what type of test it is. Yeah, you know that there's going to be this many questions and your test is going to stop at this if you do very well. However, you really need to understand what NCLEX is and how the test is being conducted. The old saying, know your opponent, know who you're going up against. When you really understand what the NCLEX is, what CAT testing is, that will help you better prepare for the NCLEX. And then my last do, which I'm sure a lot of you already know, knowing your decision tree, the way you process and analyze questions, you should know that. You need to know the process in picking out the correct answer, okay? So you need to do your research, and research, like I said before, research, what the NCLEX is, how it's being conducted, as well as research how to choose the correct answers. That's all I have for you all. We went over the do's and don'ts of preparing for NCLEX. If you feel like you got value from my video, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. I also have down below the link when I go over the O.P.R.A method, as well as the link to my free ebook, Now That You've Graduated Nursing School. It goes into detail about the O.P.R.A method, as well as NCLEX strategies that I went over here. If you have a question or comment, make sure you send me your questions. Put your comments down below and I will be sure to answer them. And good luck to you all as you prep for NCLEX. So I will see you all on the next video.